Acting Captain's Log, March 18th, 2016. So if you haven't watched Netflix and Marvel's Daredevil Season 2 yet, then you may have missed this. Or maybe not, it just depends on how Netflix advertises it. But Luke Cage Season 1 is coming out on September 30th, and Netflix just unveiled about a 25-second teaser for that series. It's only one scene. It's just a little bit of action with a bunch of guys firing their guns at Luke Cage and him just standing there and making a joke about having to buy new clothes. And it looks pretty cool. Tonally, it looks very similar to the rest of these Netflix shows. There is a bit of a music change by the end of it that's really reflective of what I think they might ultimately be doing with this. Because Luke Cage on his own is a lot more fun than Jessica Jones and Daredevil are. That character is really kind of quippy, and he obviously can be really, really serious, but he's always, as far as every time I read him in these darker contexts, he's always the funniest character. And especially if you're going to pair him with Danny Rand Iron Fist going forward, then you got to have a little bit more lightheartedness thrown into these Netflix shows. And so he's got a pretty good joke. The logo looks fantastic, and the season overall we don't really know much about. There are some set photos here and there. We know that it's either currently filming or it's wrapped filming at this point. And we know that it's going to take place around the same time as the rest of these shows. Which is interesting that we never get a direct timeline for these things. We know Daredevil Season 2 happens after Jessica Jones because of certain references. We know that Daredevil has to technically happen first, and we know Jessica Jones takes place in the middle, but that's a lot of just inferences based on certain references they make. There's no direct timeline for these events, especially in relation to the MCU at large, because as far as I can tell, there aren't any references to things like Ultron, or even the stirrings of stuff that would come up in Civil War later. So I'm not sure if Luke Cage is going to try and fix that and feel like a bigger bridge between the MCU proper and the Netflix shows, although I think that connection's pretty natural already. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the teaser looks really cool. If you have a Netflix account, you can watch it. I'm sure at some point it's going to wind up on YouTube. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm excited for it. Mike Coulter is fantastic as Luke Cage. He's one of my favorite parts about Jessica Jones, and so I'm really glad he's getting his own show, and I really can't wait to see it, and it'll be here in September. I think Marvel and Netflix have said that they want to have a new season of these shows out every 6 months. Not necessarily meaning that we get Daredevil every 6 months, but just meaning that we get one of these MCU Netflix properties every 6 months, and so that's pretty cool. I like that they're able to keep to that production schedule, and hopefully we see some stuff with Iron Fist coming up soon. It's kind of strange to me that we're going to make an Iron Fist show and a Luke Cage show, but we aren't just going to make a Luke Cage Iron Fist show together, just a straight Heroes for Hire show. Although I guess you have to tell the origin story of how those characters met, considering the way this universe is structured. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and that concludes today's Acting Captain's Log.